lot of concepts. We agree with the left.
इतने सीट आएंगे हमारे, इतनी मेजॉरिटी आएगी हमारी, उस संबंध में अब वो पक्का उनको समझ में आ गया कि उनका नहीं आ रहा, इसलिए ये बातें कर रहे हैं।
जैसे आपने नीतीश जी के बारे में कहा, जयललिता जी के बारे में, बहुत सारी लाइक माइंडेड पार्टीज हैं।
इसमें कोई राजनीतिक रिश्ता, राजनीतिक समीकरण, भावी संबंध, इन सब चीजों को देखना समय की बर्बादी होगी।
So you heard Rahul Gandhi. He's confident the left will support Dr. Manmohan Singh and the Congress to form the government. He's also trying to woo Nitish Kumar. Nitish Kumar, of course, very happy with the appreciation, but he's saying, don't read too much into this. What is happening? This brings us to our question of the day. Is Rahul Gandhi's recent statement a sign of political pragmatism or desperation? We have with us Abhishek Manu Singhvi, spokesperson of the Congress party. We also have CPM leader Vasudev Acharya. Welcome on Headlines today. Abhishek Manu Singhvi, let me come to you first. Rahul wooing, he criticized the left when he was in Purulia, but now he's saying that, they're good, we meet on several issues. So what exactly is this? Is this desperation or is this pragmatism? Okay, we've just lost that link with Abhishek Manu Singhvi. We'll get it back in just a moment. But let me put that question to Vasudev Acharya. Acharya Sahab, now is this possible of just to keep the BJP out? Will the left support Congress?
We have made our position very much clear that we'll try for a third alternative, which is quite possible. The political situation which is prevalent today, it is quite possible to form a third alternative for which we have been trying. There is no question of supporting any government under the leadership of Congress. That we have made our position very clear.
Okay, but will you take Congress support to form a government?
If they extend their support, we'll have no objection. But the position today is that we will not support a government under the leadership of Congress, headed by Congress. That is the position. And what we are trying to form a third alternative without Congress and without BJP, will have a government of left parties and other secular parties.
Okay. Okay, let me bring in Abhishek Manu Singhvi. We seem to have got him, but we will get him in a moment. But Acharya Sahab, just explain this to me. You're willing to take support of the Congress, but you're not willing to support the Congress. Why is that?
No, because our experience of supporting this Congress under the leadership of Dr. Manmohan Singh, they have not changed their policy. The mandate of the people which are shown in 2004 election, that has not been honored by the Congress, and they have not deviated from the path which they have been pursuing.
So you have a problem with Dr. Manmohan Singh. What if the Congress party changes its prime ministerial candidate? What if the Congress party says it's Rahul Gandhi and not Dr. Manmohan Singh?
Not only with the Dr. Manmohan Singh, but with the Congress itself, because there is no difference in the policy between Congress and BJP. There may be two different political parties, but there is only one policy which is being followed by both the political parties, and because of that there is a division in the country, richer becoming richer, poorer becoming poorer. So in order to shape the people of our country, there is a need for a third alternative, a government by the left and other secular parties.
Okay, how do you explain Rahul Gandhi's attempts to woo you at this point of time? While he was in Purulia, he was criticizing the left. He accused the left of strong arm tactics, lack of development, not uplifting the poor. But while he's in Delhi, he's saying the left and the Congress have several common agenda, several issues which are common on their agenda, so they can work together.
No, what I heard his speech both at Purulia and Bankura. He visited my constituency. He addressed a meeting at Khatra. I heard his speech, and
Okay.
without knowing details about the West Bengal, the progress that has been done during these 32 years, because Congress was in power in West Bengal for 28 years, and after 28 years, by remaining in power, what they have done for the state of West Bengal, and he has not seen the progress made both in the district of Purulia and Bankura, where he
Okay.
criticized left front government for neglecting two districts.
But at the same time, he's
Well,
also saying
today-
that there are several things which are common on the agenda. Perhaps they can come together. Abhishek Manu Singhvi, now that you're back with us, how do you explain Rahul Gandhi's statements? While he's in Purulia, he criticizes the left, but while he's in Delhi, he lauds them.
I think you have to understand two facets. One, Rahul Gandhi's style of politics, his speech, has always been more forthright. He means what he says and he says what he means. He is not double-forked, double-tongued, and he has simply praised certain deeds, in particular of Mr. Nitish Kumar and some of Mr. Naidu. About the left, all that he has said is, and that's a fact, that the philosophy of the left has greater harmony with that of the Congress than other constituents of the NDA. He hasn't praised the left about any deeds. What he has said is that overall we have been in a support system. The left
Okay.
has supported us for 4 years, and he's only making that broad point. He's not
Okay.
the praise which he has specifically singled out has been from Mr. Nitish Kumar and partly
Okay,
from Mr.
so
Naidu.
let me put a question about that praise. While Rahul Gandhi was in Bihar, he criticized the Nitish Kumar government. He said, and this was in Araria, he said the National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme is not being implemented. He also said there's slipshod implementation of Kosi rehabilitation.
Let me explain. He is still critical, and we are still critical of the government in Bihar, and we are fighting elections against those people in Bihar. That's not the point at all. Mr. Rahul Gandhi's style is more natural and spontaneous, and because we are so skeptical and so caustic in politics that we can't accept the fact that somebody can actually genuinely praise some aspects of the deeds of a particular politician. The moment somebody does that, we are suspicious. We think there must be an ulterior motive, ulterior agenda. Well, Rahul Gandhi's style of politics is different. His style of dealing with things is different. And I think his forthrightness gives him an instant connectivity with the youth. What he has said is, and frankly one feels like saying that several times, that this particular party is bad in so many things, but yes, on some things they've done good. Just like we've succeeded in so many things, but on some things we've done bad. So this is
Okay.
really transcending the narrow antagonistic style of politics, and I think it's something to be admired and praised.
Okay, but this same narrow antagonistic style of politics has actually got two of your alliance partners extremely angry, Lalu Prasad Yadav and Ramvilas Paswan. For a moment, let's just listen in to what Lalu and Paswan said about Nitish Kumar being appreciated by Rahul Gandhi.
नीतीश कुमार अच्छा काम कर रहे हैं, राहुल गांधी ने कहा।
क्या बोले नहीं बोले हम कोई कमेंट नहीं करना चाहते, लेकिन जरूर आदमी कुछ न कुछ मटियाता होगा आदमी क्या करते नहीं करते। नीतीश कुमार कोई अच्छा काम नहीं कर रहे, ना कांग्रेस हमारे पार्टी में है, ना हम कांग्रेस पार्टी में हैं।
हमने तो सुना नहीं है ना, लेकिन यदि वो कहते हैं कि नीतीश जी कुमार अच्छे काम कर रहे हैं, तो फिर नीतीश कुमार जी को क्या कहते हैं खिलाफ में कैंडिडेट नहीं देना चाहिए। तो कैंडिडेट किसके खिलाफ में दिए हुए हैं? लोजपा आरजेडी खिलाफ में दिए हैं कि नीतीश कुमार के खिलाफ में दिए हैं, एनडीए के खिलाफ में।
So Mr. Singhvi, isn't he burning his bridges? Isn't the Congress burning its bridges with the Lok Janshakti Party and the RJD?
That's a typically a narrow comment, looking at things very in the same narrow antagonistic walls. That if you have some things to admire about the deeds or achievements of Mr. Nitish Kumar, why are you putting up a candidate against him? That's completely misunderstanding the whole equation. it's entirely possible for me to be critical of a government and fight elections against them, and yet appreciate that relatively he has done some good things. That's all that has happened. I think
Okay.
it's very important
So-
to rise above that style of politics in India.
Okay,
I'll
sure.
tell you an example. Quite frankly,
Okay.
frequently I believe in saying that we've done very well in these four things. We've been a little less successful in this one item. But if I say that, your television program will carry a flyer at the bottom saying, Singhvi accepts that he did very badly in one particular thing. Now that's not a holistic approach.
Okay, let me ask you about this holistic approach. Is the Congress looking at Nitish Kumar perhaps as a partner post-elections?
No, I don't think there is anything which can be said in terms of concrete proposals, discussions, achievements or decisions on that regard at all. All we are saying is that every possibility is open after the elections, subject to certain basic ground rules. Those ground
So
rules
does
are
that
known to
every
everyone.
possibility include cooperation from the left or coming
Shiv
together
Sena.
with the left again, sir?
Oh well, certainly it does. I can't rule it out.
But
I'm
left
not
doesn't
ruling it
want
in-
you.
in a
Left has
sense
said
of
no.
any
Nitish Kumar has
concreteness,
said no.
But certainly I'm not ruling it out. No, 1 minute. The left has till a few months ago been supporting us. It all depends on the figures and the structure of the majorities and the minorities after the election. But the question you're asking is, if the figures so demand, I ask you the question, is philosophically, in terms of thinking, in terms of action, in terms of prior history, is the left or any of the other parties you're mentioning closer to us or to the NDA? About Nitish
Okay.
Kumar, all I can say is that all possibilities are open, nothing can be ruled out. However, it will all depend on the figures and the actual kind of combination of the moment.
Okay. Let me put that question to Basdev Acharya Sahab. Mr. Acharya, are you philosophically or in any other way closer to the Congress than to the BJP or the NDA?
Now there is no question now that we are, because why we extended support, external support to Congress-led government in 2004 to keep BJP out of power. That was
Okay.
the main motive behind extending support to Congress-led government. But situation has been changed since 2004. Now we are trying, all other parties, including Janata Dal United and other also parties which are still with NDA. 2-3 parties are now left out. So we are trying to bring all those parties together to form a alternate government at the center after elections. That
So
is
you wouldn't
our
want to see
main
the
purpose
Congress in
now.
power at all. There is no way, under no circumstances, will the left ever support the Congress.
That is the position now. We had made our position very much clear. There is no question of now extending support to a government under the leadership of Congress. We are trying to have an alternate government now.
Okay, but at the same time, you don't mind taking support of the Congress to form a government. Mr. Singhvi, would you be willing to support the third front or the left parties just to keep the BJP out?
What's the use of speculating and hypothesizing on a dream world basis? What's the use of dreaming? It's good for the left to dream that they will have so much numbers, that they will be able to ask others to follow them. But all such dreams must be based on actual hard fact and reality. The left are nowhere near and are going to be nowhere near being the single largest party. The tail cannot wag the dog. There is no question of large national parties supporting left. Yes, if they want to offer us support, we'll consider that.
Okay, okay. Now we'll also talk about the problems in Tamil Nadu. Now this is a problem which the DMK of course is facing. First, the backlash over the ongoing crisis in Sri Lanka, and then their star campaign, Chief Minister M. Karunanidhi, he's been advised to take complete rest. He cannot campaign. Ajit Rangachari tells you why the sun is not as bright as it used to be in Tamil Nadu.
the DMK star campaigner at his vintage best. Today, that's fading into history. The Kalaignar no more thunders into the heavens. Instead, India's biggest surviving star of regional politics is screaming for votes from the idiot box. And the poet continues to sing the same old Sethu Samudran tune.
எனவே சேது திட்டம் முழுமையாக நிறைவேற வேண்டுமேயானால் மத்தியிலே நம்முடைய ஐக்கிய முற்போக்கு கூட்டணி அரசுதான் மீண்டும் அமைந்திட வேண்டும்.
After his breakfast to lunch fast in Marina Beach, the man appeared in flesh and blood at a Trichy rally a few days back. Soon after, he took ill and has been advised bed rest for an extended period. And that has thrown his campaign schedule in a tizzy. But his bête noire has a different take on his poor health.
கூட்டத்திற்கு வந்தால் மக்களின் கோபத்தை சந்திக்க வேண்டியிருக்குமே, என்ன பேசுவது, சொன்ன பொய்யை எப்படி மறைப்பது, மக்கள் நம்மை பார்த்து எதை வீசுவார்களோ என்றெல்லாம் பயம் ஏற்பட்டதால் தான் மக்களை சந்திக்க பயந்து என்ன செய்வது என்று தெரியாமல் கருணாநிதி போய் மருத்துவமனையில் படுத்துக் கொண்டார்.
Even as political parties slug it out, the common man on the streets is least bothered.
It don't make any difference. People have already determined their vote.
So even Kalaignar comes and do campaigning for DMK, chances are very remote.
Many believe that the playwright has got his script completely wrong for the elections 2009. The Lankan crisis, coupled with local issues and the lack of sheen in the DMK campaign, will dent its pot-penal tally of 2004. The sun is definitely not shining bright anymore in Tamil Nadu. In Chennai, this is Ajit Rangachari for Headlines Today.
Abhishek Manu Singhvi, are you worried about the results in Tamil Nadu?
There's no question of being worried. Tamil Nadu has done so heroically, so wonderfully well last time for us that obviously we can't improve upon. And therefore there might be a slight infinitesimal reduction here or there, but we are confident because we have a very wide-ranging, a very broad spectrum coalition there. And we believe that Mr. Karunanidhi, despite his health setbacks, still commands a great amount of respect and charisma in that state. We believe that the Congress has done far better in the recent past in that state than ever before. And we believe that there is a natural yearning that this combination has worked well and therefore should be returned to power.
Okay, you feel the DMK will return to power. Mr. Acharya, is that your reading also, or is Jayalalitha, your partner, likely to do much better?
What we expect in this election in Tamil Nadu, the result will be just reverse what happened in 2004. Congress will be reduced to 0 and DMK also substantially, DMK number also will be reduced. So result will be just reverse of what happened in 2004.
Okay. Abhishek Manu Singhvi, hypothetically, if the left and the Congress do come together, what happens to the Indo-US nuclear deal?
There's no question. We have gone through this entire process for more than 2 years. We made our stand very clear. We never shut off or shooed off the left. We only made our stand clear in the public in the national interest. We said this is good for the country and these are the principles on which we have to support it. Now thereafter it's the left which took that decision, and if they took the decision, they left on their own.
Okay.
Our stand remains the same. There's no question of scrapping the deal. As far as we understand, Mr. Karath himself has now suggested that scrapping is not the issue. He's called it renegotiation. Well, he knows very well and should know that international treaties can't be renegotiated so easily. An international treaty is a final thing. There is a continuity in international relations, and the sovereign might of a country, the sovereign dignity and name of a country depends on honouring its treaties. So I think this is a done deed. Why should you raise something again? Irrespective of the government of power, it will reflect very badly on India if a government of colour A, B or C tried to scrap or tinker with a solemn international commitment.
Right, so your stand is very clear, the left stand is very clear, and yet both of you hope perhaps in case the situation so warrants, you will come together. How will that happen? It will remain very interesting to see that from the 16th onward. Abhishek Manu Singhvi and Basudev Acharya, thank you very much for joining us on the show tonight. After this, let's now talk about our neighbor Nepal. It's caught in the middle of a political vacuum. Even as political parties held crisis talks to form a new coalition government, a national government, the Maoists are firm. They're not going to be a part of it, at least as of now. They've boycotted the all-party meet today. Maoist protesters took to the streets. They're demanding an immediate end to the present crisis. Nepal's Supreme Court today issued a notice to the Presidential Secretariat to reply within 10 days why President Rambaran Yadav reinstated the Chief of Army Staff who was sacked by the Prime Minister Prachand. Take a look.
There's no end in sight yet for Nepal's political crisis. Maoist leader Prachand has stepped down as the Prime Minister of Nepal.
आफूले नेतृत्व गरेको मन्त्रीमण्डलबाट राजीनामा दिएको घोषणा गर्दछु.
With no alternative government yet, people in Nepal are unhappy, worried and angry.
अब पछिल्लो चरणमा आएर राष्ट्रपतिका जुन क्रियाकलाप भए यसले नेपालको लोकतन्त्रको भविष्यलाई संकटमा पारेको छ. त्यसैले हामी इतिहासमा यस्तो कलंक दोहोरिनु हुँदैन भन्ने स्मरण राष्ट्रपतिज्यूलाई गराउँदै लोकतन्त्रलाई बलियो बनाउनु पर्छ भन्ने मान्यताले राष्ट्रपतिको त्यो निर्णयको विरोधमा हामी उत्रेका हौं.
As the crisis deepens, political parties in Nepal held crisis talks in Kathmandu focused on forming a new coalition government. The Maoists, however, boycotted the all-party meet and also disrupted parliament. For the party boss Prachand, the reinstatement of army chief remains to be a sore point, a prestige issue, and the Maoists will not join the current political process unless the army chief General Katwal is sent packing.
क्योंकि हमें सबसे भी आंदोलन करेंगे, सड़क से भी करेंगे और डायलॉग भी चलाएंगे. ये तीन उपाय है, तीनों उपाय को हम प्रयोग करेंगे.
The big question now is who will fill in the current political void. Prachand's party does not have majority. The allies have deserted him. Nepali Congress, the second largest party in the parliament, has decided to stay out. The next coalition could be led by the CPN-UML with support from the Nepali Congress. But as the number crunching continues, here's the dilemma. The Maoists remain the biggest political party in parliament and it will be difficult to pass legislation without the Maoist assent. Meanwhile, India has redoubled efforts to break out of its big brother image.
It is not fair to blame India. It is not true. India has not interfered. India has no intention to interfere. I may say that it was the internal consensus or the understanding among the political parties in Nepal which has unfortunately broken down.
Legend has it that every time the Machindranath Rath Yatra is stalled for any reason, it spells ill for the Hill Kingdom. The last time this happened, King Gyanendra had to leave the royal palace, and this time round, Prachanda has had to leave the Prime Minister's office. With Rajneesh Bhandari and Tahir Chaudhary in Kathmandu, Soni Sangwan for Headlines Today.
Well, that's all we have for you in this bulletin. Thank you for watching and keep watching Headlines Today.